Hello and welcome to Cracking the Rich Code, the podcast. I'm John Verico. I'm your host for this fabulous program. I love doing these podcasts because I get to meet so many of my wonderful co-authors throughout this book series, and I learn something every time. And today I get a chance to actually have a conversation with somebody I'd not have a chance to meet very much in the prior to this. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about my fellow paisan with the Italian name of Jenna D'Annunzio. And I'd love to bring her in to meet you right now. And she's just fantastic. She has contributed to the Cracking the Rich Code Volume 15. And let's learn more about what she has to say. By the way, Jenna is a certified holistic business mindset and success coach, a successful author, and a speaker. So let's bring her right on. Jenna, hi there.
Hello, John.
Wow, what an exciting, I looked at this, all of the stuff that you do, right? A mindset coach, a business coach, a success coach, uh, an author, kind of kicking things off with the Cracking the Rich Code series.
Yeah,
And also you're a speaker.
I am. I am.
Wow.
And a mother and a wife. So all the things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you have time for everything?
I don't. No. I do. Really, really strategic time management skills with a lot of support and help. I have a great village and a wonderful family. So,
Fantastic. And that's
yeah.
so incredibly important to have that kind of support,
Yeah.
especially when you are ambitious and talented and have a lot of skills and things that you want to share with people. And I know, we get excited about what we do and we dive into it, but still being able to find time for that balance is so critically important.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. This summer has been one for the books, I'll be honest, between a lot of camping and lacrosse tournaments and dance recitals, and also flying all over the country to do some speaking engagements. It's been very, very jam packed. And so I'm looking forward to a more relaxing fall. But now we're
But now
into
that the kids are
school.
back in school.
Yeah, the kids are back in school and sports kind of start up again. And I'm working on a lot of my own projects, which I'm incredibly excited for. So there's really never a dull moment, but this is the part where I do my best to take my own mindset skills, my tools, my tips, and my tricks that I teach my clients and apply them as best possible here as well. So
That is great, and it is so important to so many people, especially those of us who are in the coaching realm. We're always great about giving advice, but yet we don't necessarily follow our own advice ourselves. I'm doing a workshop coming up on work-life balance, and I'm the guy.
yeah.
I'm the master overcommitter. So it's going to be a lot of do as I say, not as I do kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yes. Well,
But
it's
it's
like they
really
always say doctors and nurses are the worst patients. It's kind
yeah,
of the same
exactly,
thing.
exactly. Yeah, and the plumber's sink is always the clogged one. It's
Yep.
so
Mhm.
yeah, it's so true, but it's so great when you can realize that and you can take time to
Yeah.
take your own advice.
Yeah.
So tell me a
Absolutely.
little bit about well, first of all, how did you wind up in this career field and what got you started?
Yeah, so believe it or not, I'm a second generation entrepreneur, and my father actually
Wow.
started our company about 27, maybe 28 years ago now. And it started as the Enlightened Entrepreneur, working with small to medium sized business owners. And truth be told, the financial services industry kind of found him. So we have two somewhat programs, but basically we do business as Soul Purpose Institute. And one of our big programs is entitled Mission Driven Advisor, and that works very specifically with the financial services industry. So, our coaching is based on a series of life success production principles that we have tailored to leaders, C suites, small to medium sized business owners, and also those within the financial services industry.
So have you left anybody out?
it's
I'm
funny that you
teasing.
say that, John, because, how many times do marketers say you need a specific niche, right? And I don't disagree, but when your mission is so big to really help support, evolve the consciousness of humanity, it's really hard to say, but I'll only work with this one specific industry or this one specific person. And so we're doing our best to listen to the marketers and listen to the masters of that craft while also honoring what our mission and our purpose is.
And that is, it's so great to hear that because we hear that all the time. Everybody says, well, you got to niche down, you got to niche down, you got to
Yeah.
focus on this. And well, I understand, business practice wise, how
Mhm.
it may seem to make sense to only focus on teaching one type of thing or working with only one type of client. And maybe you'll get, more success working within that realm because you kind of define yourself as an expert in a certain area. But at the same
Absolutely.
time, when you're heart driven
Mhm.
and mission driven,
Mhm.
your focus is to help people be successful, and so you find that you wind up being much better and
Yeah.
much more effective, and it's much more rewarding to not limit who you're helping.
Yeah, and really, I mean, this ties into that concept of holism and the holistic part of it. So I truly believe that who we are anywhere is who we are everywhere. So what
Oh,
I
beautiful.
do, yeah, what I do with my business owners and my leaders, C-suite, all of the above, is I support them in recognizing that the inner work, the 6 inches between our ears, is the most important thing and the only thing that we can control. And that in and of itself is a business strategy.
Oh, genius, genius. That's it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great because many of us business owners and entrepreneurs, we have leaned heavily into the masculine energy, the masculine side of business, right? Which is execution and to do lists, very task oriented, very direct. We focus on the key performance activities and all of the tangible pieces in business. And so, whereas obviously, right, to all have a successful business, you get to lean into all those things, but we often forget about the feminine energy and the feminine side of business, which is collaboration and creativity and intuition and gamifying a lot of the forgetting to have
Yes,
fun in it.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So when we can merge and marry those two things together, that's a lot of that is our inner work. So that's
And
where
that
the emotional intelligence piece comes in with personal growth and business strategy.
Yeah, because it's so critical to be able to remember that those human side of business, right?
Yes.
We don't do business with businesses, we do business with people, right? So
Oh, yeah.
it's understanding those human elements, the interpersonal communication, the human interaction, those
Mhm.
what they call soft skills, which are actually more critical than your business skills.
I call them soul skills, right?
Soul
SOUL.
skills.
They're soul skills. Yeah.
So
Um,
let's talk a little bit about that, by the way. Soul Skills and Soul Purpose Institute. Tell me a little bit about how that evolved, and what is kind of the core of where you're coming from with that.
so the core of where I'm coming from in Soul Purpose Institute is really your soul purpose is building a business and building a life that you really love. And so many of us have built businesses, but we get stuck in the weeds. We get so stuck in it that we forget to work on it. And when we work on it, we continue to align our business with our core
Mhm.
values, with who we really are, what we really want. And sometimes we forget that because we ourselves evolve and change.
Yes.
Right? Myself as a business owner, when I first started in my father's company 10 years ago, I I've had 2 kids since. I have 3 total. I'm a
Oh, thank you.
completely different person than I was in 2015 versus who I am today. So, a lot of my core values, not a lot, but some of my core values have evolved and changed, and I wanna continue to evolve my business alongside those. And a lot of us forget to do that because we get so stuck working in it.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
we get
where,
stuck chasing the money.
yeah, and that's where that's where burnout can happen, frustration can happen, procrastination, upset. And so I really help a lot of folks to not only get clear on what they want, but understand that when they can focus on their emotional intelligence, their stories that they're telling themselves, the belief systems that they're energizing, we have that choice to rewrite those. And when we can rewrite those, can we then create a business and a life, that sole purpose that we love?
I love all those connections there. It's very similar to what I work on too, in telling people, we have inner voices, but we have a choice which of those voices we listen to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we don't always think that we do, right?
Oh, I know. Yep.
So it's tricky, but believe it or not, our beliefs matter. So,
Absolutely. So we're chatting with Jenna D'Annunzio. She is a holistic business mindset and success coach, and a speaker and an author as well. And speaking of author, her chapter is in Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 15. Her chapter is called From Plan to Power to Purpose. And love to know a little bit more about, first of all, what you wrote about, but why you chose that topic to share in this
mm,
book.
okay. So just a quick correction, John. It's from pain to power to purpose.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
that's okay. No worries. Um, truth be
That was my
told,
own typo, by the way. And
you're
I'm not
human,
going to,
buddy.
and I am not going to edit out this little sequence there that makes me look stupid, because, we never want to strive for things that are too perfect, because then it looks
There-
too practiced.
No, yes, no worries at all, my friend. So ironically, and I think you'll appreciate this story. So it's one afternoon. I get an email from a client that said, "Hey, I was just checking in. Did you see the email that I sent you like last week or a couple days ago?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me check my spam folder." So I'm going through my spam folder, and lo and behold, that is where I find the email from Walter, Jim Britt's one of his marketing directors or somebody on his team, that said Jim has found you via LinkedIn and really loved your content and loved your stuff and thought you might be interested in being a featured co-author. So had I not checked my spam, would I have not even seen that invitation? So God and universe had my back there.
Sometimes
However,
things just fall into line.
they do. And so I immediately freaked out, booked the first available call with him. It was a 30-minute conversation. We talked for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. That's what
And
happens.
that's what always happens.
Uh-huh.
I can't imagine he only ever talks to someone for 30 minutes. But not only did I say, "What drew you to me?" but I had asked him, I said, "Okay, so what are your favorite types of chapters that people write about? What has always drawn your attention to those chapters?" And he said, "It's a part of their story, and it's the vulnerable piece of who they are, their story, followed by some content and skills and tips and tricks that really help them to become resilient in that story and overcome some of the barriers that they were faced with." So that was very eye-opening yet tricky for me because I had a pretty rough upbringing as it relates to my mother's side of the family. And so most people didn't know that, my closest friends, but some of it my father didn't even know. So when my father read the chapter for the first time, he was almost teary eyed. Like he texted me immediately. He's like, "Jen, I don't even think I knew some of these things." So a lot of I was grappling with what to write, how to write it, without getting too much stuck into it. And I actually hired a coach to help me work through some of these experiences that I had resolved in my heart, in my mind, but
Right.
not so well, resolved in my heart, but maybe not so much in my mind that I was willing to share this with the world.
Right.
And I mean, this is an international best-selling series. So people from all over the world are
They're
going to
going to
read this.
read this. Yeah. How much do I want to tell people?
Exactly, exactly. So it was one day, it just came to me as I was getting ready for the day. I dropped the kids off at school and I didn't have a call. So I just started getting ready and it just kind of hit me as a numerical experience. And so it was, age 5, this happened, age 6, age 7, age 8, 9, 10, and then 11. And I just give one experience each age that was really pretty heart-wrenching, but not just enough for people to understand where the pain came from
Right.
and how I was able to shift that pain into power, into taking my power back, into those experiences no longer holding power over who I am, my self-worth, how I showed up in life, and then really took that power to manifest it into purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is so difficult for people to open up like that and to be
Yeah.
vulnerable. We always want to, put forth an image of being this, powerful, whatever it is that we do,
Mhm.
that we realize people don't connect with perfect people. We
Yeah.
connect with people who have vulnerabilities. When people share their vulnerability, we get to know them, we get to trust them,
Mhm.
and then when you share your vulnerability with me, I'll share my vulnerability with you. We now have a trusted relationship, and we can move forward and do all kinds of great things together. And that's what is so important. But boy, it was brave of you to do that, especially when even your own father wasn't aware of some of the things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brave. Thank you for saying that. It's not always easy to accept compliments, but um it was brave, and because I do live into the principle that vulnerability is credibility. I truly believe that I was able to take just little pieces of me, and to your point, you know, connection in coaching is the number one. It's all about connection.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
um I have a master's degree in clinical psychology with a specialization, excuse me, in counseling. And so in the therapeutic world, we are taught to not self-disclose. And if we do self-disclose in any way, it's in itty bitty pieces. And so that was a story that I was telling myself, right? To not necessarily always self-disclose. It's always about the other, it's always about the other, and to keep that at arm's length from a therapeutic setting. So coming into the coaching
And
space.
it's understandable why it
Absolutely.
is that way, but it
Absolutely.
is a very different realm.
It
Yeah.
is a different realm, right? And so that was a transformation and a mindset for me in and of itself that I had to really overcome, and to be able to really connect with not only my audience but with my clients, is that I can self-disclose things. It's not my deepest darkest secrets, but with intentionality, to say, I get where you are. I've actually been in a similar situation. And though this isn't about me, I can resonate with what you're going through. And I can also support you in overcoming these so that they don't hold you back, and so that you're not internally self sabotaging and unintentionally getting in your own way to being the happiest and healthiest that you can be.
I love the way you said that, getting in your own way to being your healthiest and happiest. I think, and those of us, again, in the coaching realm realize this. that our own worst enemies are our own selves 99% of the time.
It's the 6 inches between our ears. It's our own mindset. It's what we're telling ourselves about other people. It's what we're telling ourselves about us. It's what we're energizing about particular experiences and stories and situations. So it's really, it's that the confirmation bias, excuse me. If I'm
Yes.
going to go into this situation, I'm telling myself it's tricky. It's going to be tricky. I'm going to look for all the ways that it's tricky. Or
Yes.
I'm going to say,
Yes.
this is going to be an incredible experience, and I'm going to find all the ways that it was incredible.
Yeah. Or I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll give it a try. Well, you're not really giving it a try because you've already cast doubt going into it.
Right. Right. Or I can't predict the future, but I'm willing to take risks and learn from them and fail forward and love seeing things as opportunities rather than necessity.
For those of you tuning in, we're having a terrific conversation with Jenna D'Annunzio. She is a holistic business mindset and success coach. And, I probably half my age. I'm just going to throw this out there. You're probably close to half my age, and just such a world of knowledge and wisdom in this young woman. I greatly appreciate her sharing and being vulnerable with us, telling us a little bit about, hinting about what is in her chapter in Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 15. Definitely check that out. Her chapter is From Pain to Power to Purpose, and I think you're going to get a lot of value about checking out that chapter. I realized going into today that I do not have a copy of 15 on my shelf, so I need to. I know. I've got to get a 15 so we
That
can.
surprises me.
Well, why don't I get one with your cover on it, and I'll
Yeah.
order one from you and get it signed if that's
Yeah,
okay.
they're right
Okay.
here.
There we go. I love it. I love it. Oh, so check out more about Jenna D'Annunzio, and connect with her on LinkedIn. By the way, she said that's a
Yes, I would
great way
love
to reach
to.
out to her. She's very responsive there. I have noticed that. So definitely check her out. It's Jenna D'Annunzio on LinkedIn, and her link is here. It'll also be in the show notes. And check out her website, soulpurposeinstitute.com. And we're not done yet. We still have some time to chat, Jenna. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about. So when you're two things. One thing, let's start off. When you are working with a client, like, what is an experience like working with you?
So, working with my clients, as I mentioned earlier, I see each and every one of my clients as a whole person. So, I really get to know them, not just in a business context, which most of my folks come to me in wanting to grow their business, hit a new echelon, make more money, grow their team, scale their business. A lot of folks come to me wanting to do those things. And whereas, again, I'm here for all of it, I also recognize that each of us, we play a lot, we have a lot of hats. We wear a lot of hats, we have a lot of roles. And so I truly believe that who we are anywhere is who we are everywhere. So what I do when I work with each of my folks is they get an opportunity to take this incredible awareness assessment called the mind scan that really shows me who they're being, how they're thinking, and how they do things.
Yes.
And so this is how we commence our time together, because what's really cool is that unlike any other personality test, right? You have Myers-Briggs, where you're a ESFJ for life, or you have the DISC assessment where you're a C/I forever. This particular assessment is really unique in that though certain patterns show up no matter what, your results can change. So it takes who you're being, how you think, and how you do things. And then we also, based on what each client is hoping to accomplish out of the coaching relationship, we take those results and we merge them. So with emotional intelligence, life success principles, with their personal growth based on their results, and we merge that into a business strategy. So it's really the nonlinear and the linear, so that they're
Right.
not just walking away making more money, but they're happier. Their relationships with their families, with their spouses, with their children are more enriched, right? Like cracking the rich code. It's a multi-dimensional success. And
Oh,
so,
that's it. You know,
yeah.
when Jim first reached out to me on this cracking the rich code, and I was like, "Oh, that's all for you multimillionaire CEO type,
Oh,
money
no.
chasers. That's not who I am. I don't have a stock market portfolio, etc." And he goes, "No, it's
Right.
not about that. It's about richness of life." I said, "That is a whole other ball game." And
Now you're talking my language, right?
now, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so often people equate the financial to happiness, and then other times, you know,
Yeah.
there are people who've got lots of money, but they're just miserable.
I
So
was
I
just
keep
going to
I
say,
keep
John.
offering to help them. By the way, so I will help you be less miserable if you give me, some. I'll take some of that
Yeah,
money off your hands.
if you want to just take a couple of that money off your hands, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I've never met
yeah,
anybody who wanted to make less money though.
well, and I'll be really honest with you, John. There's a lot of my CEOs who come to me, my very incredibly successful financial advisors who come to me and they've won the money game. Money
Yeah,
isn't an issue.
right.
It's their
But they're not
mind. It's
happy
their
elsewhere.
happiness.
Yeah.
It's their health. Yes.
Mhm.
They have traded that in for peace of mind and for fulfillment. Not because they're not great people, but because they're human beings and there was so much intrinsic drive and motivation for one thing that once they reached it, they kind of looked at their lives and they said, "Well, I don't feel rich in my relationships."
Is that all there is?
Yeah, like I don't necessarily feel fulfilled. I've won the money game, but I'm exhausted, like mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, and physically exhausted. And so, to my point, when I said earlier, is helping folks build a business that's more in alignment with who they are and their core values. It's that integration of all of the things so that you don't get to that point that you
Right.
say, "Hey, I've won the money game, but I rarely talk to my kids. I missed out on their soccer games or their lacrosse games and the dance recitals, or, I haven't been on a date with my wife or my husband in years." And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way if we build a business that is more in alignment with who you are and what you want out of not just business, but life.
Absolutely. Again, some brilliant words of wisdom here from Jenna D'Annunzio. Jenna, you've got another a book project that you're working on,
I
and
do.
we only have a little bit of time, but just kind
Yeah.
of give us a little hint for where you're going with that.
Yeah, so I had an incredible client during COVID, believe it or not. Um, After each of my coaching calls, I send a follow up email with extensive action steps and notes from our time together. And so one of the action steps was for her to go back through, print them out, and reread them to help her really stay top of mind in the work that we're doing together. And so after she had done that, our next call, she came to me, she goes, "Jen, you have like a book here of all of these, like, this is a book." And I thought to myself, well, that's kind of cool. That maybe I do have a book there. With respect to confidentiality, if I go back through a decade of action steps that I've been sending my clients, I probably do have I probably have a textbook,
Wow.
John.
I love it.
So from that, without giving away all of it, I have reinvested in that opportunity and in that project, going back through the years and fine tuning and just creating some magic in some of the work that I've done with my clients over the past 10 years. So I'm really, really excited to bring this to life.
Sounds like a roadmap to happiness coming from Jenna D'Annunzio. Looking
Maybe that's
forward
the
to
title,
reading.
John.
Hey, there we go. Okay. You can put
You're
me in
like,
the
I want
acknowledgments.
5%. Yep.
I love it. Jenna, this has
Yeah.
been a wonderful conversation. For those of you who would like to get in touch with Jenna, check her out on LinkedIn, Jenna D'Annunzio. Also, go and visit her website, which is soulpurposeinstitute.com. And just to get things started, the book's been out there for a little while, folks. So pick up a copy of Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 15, and read her chapter From Pain to Power to Purpose. Jenna, thank you so much for a wonderful conversation. So enlightening. This is why I love doing these things. You have a great day, and we will look forward to, we're going to be tracking what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm
Love it.
looking
Thank
forward to
you.
so much. We'll talk again soon. Take care.
Thanks,
Have a
John.
great day,
Bye.
everyone.